Hey you guys, what's up and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hello and welcome to you. I'm Anissa, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my take on making my little love bug Rylan a Toddler Montessori house bed. So if you are already subscribed to my channel, then you already know that we are currently working with a small living space. We are currently sharing a room, so I figured that this build here would be the perfect fit for our small living arrangement. You guys, as always, the supplies and the plan that I will be using will be linked down in the description box below. So let's stop jibber jabbering, you guys. Let's get into this build. Here we are in day one of this build, where you're gonna see me measuring all of my wood, cutting it down to the correct size using my 10-inch miter saw. And once again, the cut list and the plan will be linked in the description box down below. If you're following along with the plan that I've linked down below, it does require a couple of angle cuts at 68 degrees. And if you are using a smaller miter saw like I am here, my HART 10-inch miter saw, it most likely doesn't reach 68 degrees. So grab a scrap piece of wood, lock it into place, and cut at a 45-degree cross cut. Now with your jig in place, a 0 on your miter saw will now act as your 45. And as you continue to count up, 5 will be 50, 10 will be 55, 15 will be 60, and 23 will now act as your 68-degree angle. There you have it, our 68-degree angle. So in day one, I completely finished all of my cuts on my cut list. I had 8 different cuts to make. Now today in day 2, we will be sanding and staining our wood pieces. Not only do I want to sand down this wood because of the imperfections, but also because I want to make it really safe. I want to make the wood really smooth because my daughter will be sleeping on this bed. She's only 2, so I want to make sure that the wood is very smooth, very soft to touch. I'm going to be using a 220 grit sandpaper today, and yeah, I better stop jibber jabbering because we're doing this during nap time. So fingers crossed, wish me luck. So you guys, we are officially in day 3 of this build, and I have decided that I want to add some side railing to this bed. So I'm gonna have to go to Home Depot later and grab that, but in day 2, we did accomplish all of our sanding of our wood and all of our staining of our wood. So we are good to go to start drilling some holes in our wood to get started on assembly. So we are gonna do that, and later on I'm gonna run to Home Depot and pick up that wood for that side railing. For this build, I decided to use pocket holes. So here I am just using a regular Craig jig with a 1 1/1 depth. At this point in the build, it's very important for me to pay attention to the appearance of the wood, just because I am using pocket holes, and pocket holes need to be drilled on the inside of the wood. So here I'm just making sure I'm drilling on the inside of the bed frame. am in Home Depot picking up the items that I need for my side railing, like I mentioned before. Now, the plan that I do have linked down below does not have side railing. It did not come with it. So I will make sure that I put down my dimensions that I use for my side railing in the description box down below. So it's either day 5 or 6 of this build. It's been a couple of days since you last saw me and since I last checked in with you guys, but I took the last couple of days to do all of my side railing like I told you I wanted to. I drilled all of my holes the other day. I just used a Craig jig to drill all of my pocket holes and all of my wood. And yeah, we're working again during nap time, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on assembling my side railing to my side pieces of my boards, just so that it's easier to maneuver it when we get inside the house, because I won't have access to certain things. And I am going to be the only person putting this bed together, so it's gonna be a little tough, a little difficult, but we'll get through it. So let's get going. For assembly, I will be using all Craig pocket hole screws in a 2.5 inch and also a 1 1/4 inch. The 1 1/4 inch is going to be used on my 1x4s to go in my 2x2s. In this build, all of your 2x4s are acting as your bed frame. So here you're going to see me laying down 2 of my longest 2x4s that are cut at a 68-degree angle at the top, parallel to each other, with the longest point of the angles on the outside. Here I am taking my smaller 2x4 with no angle cuts, and I am going to be attaching it to my 2 parallel 2x4s at the bottom, making sure that it is 3 inches from the bottom. Now I'm grabbing my smaller 2x4 that has 2 angled cuts on the end. One end is cut at a 45 and the other end is cut at a 68. Putting these two together is going to give my bed frame the house effect. Here you'll see me attaching my 2x4 that has no angle cuts, and this will act as one side of my bed. I'm attaching my 2x2 to my 2x4 at the very bottom. This is going to act as a support for my bed slates. For my top 2x2s is where I really could have used some help, you guys. I had to screw in a screw kind of halfway, put the 2x2 up there, and then go to the other side and screw it in, and run back to the other side and screw the other side in. I just really could have used some help when it came to those 2x2s. So here are where my 1 1/4 inch pocket hole screws come in place, you guys. You don't have to use pocket holes for your bed slates, but I chose to use them because I had them on hand already. Here you will see me inserting my 1 1/4 inch screws into my 1x4 bed slates that are going in my 2x2s. That is it, you guys. I am so excited about how this build turned out, and more importantly, Rylan really loves her bed, you guys. She has been sleeping in her bed and we haven't had any issues. I think this build was so easy, you guys, and I am just in love. Okay, don't think that you can't do this build on your own, because you totally can. I did, and you see my results. It came out so perfect. I honestly am in love and I adore this bed. So tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you like seeing this type of content from me, and don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.